Okay, so for Bitcoin, I had an analysis time that was all this period, which was 150 days. That's too long for a medium-term analysis. So I'm narrowing the window of analysis to just this period, 56 days. That's analyzing this up and then down movements. All right. I had a pretty flat indication last week, and that was not very interesting anyway. Okay, so on similarities, I just have three curves that are okay fitted, but pretty weak technicals, meaning that I don't have the exactly the same levels. Here we have the blue, which is above this point in blue, whereas in red, the two high points here are at the same level. So it's not really the same technicals, but it's still okay. The shape is more or less the same. That's more or less the same with the three curves. The shape is okay, but the technicals are not really great. Okay, so weak prediction, weak indication this week. So we are aiming for 10% down over the next 5 to 10 days, with after that a rebound. That's it. So here in blue we have my indication that would go to this support here, to this low point here. That's not 10%, but around 7% over the next 5 to 10 days, and then a rebound. Okay, weak prediction, 10%. We will need a confirmation next week. All right, that's all for Bitcoin. Okay, on oil, oil is always a bit clumsy. It's always a bit difficult. But here we have a pretty neat curve, okay? I have 99 days of analysis time. So we have this down movement, stabilization, and this peak here, which is quite specific and particular. I had last week no prevision, and I had here in orange a short-term prediction that it would go up to this trend line here, which is, well, going okay for now. All right, what do we have on similarity analysis? So we have only two curves, but still quite specific, so it can be reliable, it can be okay. Okay, here we have something that is quite well fitted. Technicals are okay, and this one is okay fitted and technicals are quite okay. So just two curves, one that is going up 20%, so big movement, and the other one is just wobbling around for a while, 20 days of trading range, and then up before going down again. Okay, the average of the two are just a period of trading range for the next 20 days, 15, 20 days, and then up. That would correspond here to a trading range here hitting the trend line here, and then up movement if it breaks the trend line. Okay, that would give us something like that, with an up movement hitting the trend line here, then down, and then up again with a big movement, something like 15%. Anyway, that's in line with the long-term indication in violet here. So okay, we'll see next week if that goes well. So for traders, maybe searching for an entry point in this area to expect a breakup of this trend line. That's it for oil. Okay, on S&P 500, on ES, I had an up indication. It didn't go that way. For now, it's just sideways. I had a short-term prediction that was going okay, I guess. All right, so I have so I'm a bit puzzled because the shape of the curve is not very interesting. It's not very specific. It's just, I mean, for months now, it's just going up. So it's not very specific. The results are not really incredible, but still we can have here some indication. So I have 4 curves that are similar, and we have some interesting insight. For instance, here is just it's an up movement, and you can see the volatility that is quite low here. Okay, next one, we have a kind of rest here, but before going up, and the rest is not very. The resting period is not very volatile. Here too is just going up with a nice little trading range here. And the last one, so yeah, that's the one that is going down. You can see here that's a lot more volatile than the other ones, and we have 4, 6, 8% down. Okay, so for now I would go for an up movement. I will even keep this line up, this prediction line up. I will put it maybe to 10-15% of confidence index. But we have to be aware that if the volatility next week is going up, if there's up and down movement, maybe we are going to be good for having a correction. Okay, so I'm keeping this line, but beware of the future behavior. If that looks like this, yeah, maybe we're good for a 8-10% correction. All right, that's all for yes. Okay, on the euro, as usual, it's very noisy. On the medium term, it's quite difficult to have some result, but still, within the noisy results and a long analysis time, I'm at 145 days of analysis. It's still clearly pointing down, even though the fit is quite, as you can see, it's quite bad. The fit is bad, and technicals are not great either. But still, if we look at the global shape of each result, yeah, it's like going down minus 2% over the next 50 days. So long-term analysis, but for medium term, it's quite long. I mean, but very low conviction index. Anyway, it's coherent with the long-term analysis, which would be a down movement. Okay, I won't put any line here on my graph, but I'm expecting a minus 2% over the next 50 days. Okay, on the pound, I had down prediction, which is going okay right now. It's 80 days of analysis window, which is okay. The curve is not that specific, but still I have some okay results. I have 3 curves that are all 3 going down, so I'm keeping my blue line here, going down. 30% of index of confidence. Okay, I can keep that. And well, we'll see what's going on. But still expecting a down movement of something like 4% over the next 40 days on the pound. Okay, on gold, I was expecting no movement last week, and we had nearly no movement, so the prediction is okay. All right, right now we have an analysis that is much more blur, all right, and it's much more diverse with a cone of probability here that is very wide. I have 2, 6 curve, 2, 4, 6 curve, yeah, and they are, yeah, as you can see, there's they are very different. There's up movement, down movement, and trading ranges. It's not really clear. The fit is not very nice, but still we are waiting. I think we are waiting for a movement here. On average, I would qualify that as a bottom searching on gold. So I think I can keep my my indication here of a flat movement, but if I would want to buy gold, I would search for a bottom around here for the next week or two, because there, I guess there are gonna be a movement, and the movement would be up. Then that is suggested here with an up movement to be confirmed for sure for next week and the week after. So on copper, I had 2 short-term indication that went quite well. The medium term here, well, it went well at the beginning, but not well up to now. Okay, but the confidence index was quite low. All right. The similarity analysis is quite difficult because it's very difficult to find some similarities on this figure, this up movement of 15% and then down directly. I just have 2 examples in the past, these 2 examples, and they give us, well, for the first one, an up movement directly, and the second one is like trading range and down movement. So it's not very clear. We are still searching for a figure that makes sense, and we are still searching for a bottom. All right, so I won't make any indication this week. We'll see next week if the indicator is more interesting. So on nat gas, I was expecting here in blue a bottom that would be right now. So it would indicate that it will go up from now. Okay, and the down movement was, well, quite well predicted, a bit volatile, but it was okay. Right now, it's a bit fuzzy. I have a different curve that are quite well fitted. This one that is, well, let's say searching a topping formation here and going down. This one that is searching for a bottom before going up. This one that is down and searching for a bottom, and after that going up. And the last one that is clearly down. So it's not very clear if we are going to go for an up movement after that, or if it's down to the 1.6 levels. And the volatility profile is not very clear. I mean that the volatility of the red curve is not really corresponding to that one, maybe more to this one, but it's not very clear. So, well, I would aim for an up movement because the volatility profile is more corresponding to that one, but that would be a very weak indication from my part. You can see here, for instance, the volatility profile is not really the same. Here, no, and this one, not really. Yeah, that would correspond more to that one, but the shape, the general shape here is not that great. So it's a bit puzzling. I'm still thinking that we are searching for a bottom here, but I won't put any line, but still it's what I'm expecting. All right. On silver last week, well, it's the indication here is from maybe 2 weeks ago. It's going quite well. There was a peak here because of the FOMC of last week, but otherwise the indication is going quite well with a good confidence index. Indeed, the fit is quite okay. This week it's going. The fit is less good than the last weeks, but still okay. And on average, you can see that it's going up big time, like 20% over the next 40 days. So I think I'm going to keep this line of prediction. In the details I have, so 83 days of analysis, which is okay for a medium-term analysis, and 3 curve, which is a bit not that much. I would prefer to have maybe 5 curves would be better, but okay, this is quite well similar. And going up big time. This is okay, similar to the technicals are okay, it's going up. And this one is searching for a bottom here before going up. Okay, so on average, it's just going up. I'm going to keep that line and expecting silver starting bottoming from now and going up from now. Okay, so the yen is moved a lot by fundamentals lately, so market analysis is quite difficult to do. For now, I'm expecting a down movement, and it's been a while that I'm expecting a down movement. That's what my analysis tells me, but for sure, if fundamentals push the yen down, well, it's like that here on the curve. It's dollar yen. So when the curve go up, the yen is going down. Okay, I'm still expecting a down movement here on average. It's the most similar. Here you have the 4 most similar curves, and they are all pointing down. So, well, I'm gonna stick to my analysis results with minus 2% over the next 20 days. I guess I can even keep this line and, well, hoping that my analysis is going to be correct at some time. It's going to be correct at some point, and the yen is going to correct to the upside, and here on the graph to the downside at some point. But we have to wait and see. For now, as we can see on the graph, it would be a quick down movement that would follow, that would be followed by 4-5% down movement. You can see the different curves here. Here is an exception with a 2% down movement and then stabilization, but the other are just here a lot of volatility and down directly with a topping formation here, and here too a down movement and then down up to down minus 4%. Okay, so I think the correction is close to us, and it would be down to the 150 level, something like that. On the T-note, the shape of the curve is quite noisy and not very specific. I just have one similar curve here, as you can see, and it's not, well, it's not very similar. It gives us a trading range here. So, well, I would expect a trading range, but with a very low index of confidence. Which is not, well, it's quite logic to expect a trading range this summer up to the next FOMC meeting in September.